Before I start this video, here's a quick reminder. Take a second, take a deep breath, and get out of your feelings. This is football. I am going to talk about football. And I know that some of you get your feelings hurt because I say a lot of things that make you uncomfortable. And I say a lot of things that make you feel like I'm saying negative. It's negative. It's negative. It's not negative. Get out of your feelings. It is football. Football is to be critiqued. Sports are to be critiqued. When you are doing things right, you get praise. When you're doing things wrong, you don't get praise. I don't care if you're winning games or losing games. The standards I have will always be the same, no matter if you're winning or losing. The other thing I want to comment and say, I love that a lot of you have started to kind of understand my perspective and understand where I'm coming from. So if you are one of those people, I very much appreciate you. I appreciate your maturity. I appreciate your ability to listen, and I appreciate your ability to hear the things that I'm actually saying and not assume the things that I'm saying. I appreciate those of you that jump in my comment section and like to have long conversations about this. I appreciate those of you that want me to know that you're hearing what I'm saying, and that some of you are seeing what's going on, because we're all watching the same game. It's just, I watch so much football, and so for me, there's things that I see that pop out at me. And when I see it and it pops out, it's a thing. And so that's what I'm going to continue to do, is talk about the things that I see. So if you are on this channel and you're watching this video and you are emotional and you're in your feelings, I'm asking you, get out of your feelings, let your feelings go, and get into your football. Get your football brain on, get your football things on, let go of those feelings, because I'm not here to talk to your feelings. I'm here to talk to you about football. I'm going to get into my Utah preview, give my prediction, and I'm going to let it ride, but I needed to make this public service announcement because some of you are way too sensitive over this team, and I don't understand it. I will probably never understand it, and quite frankly, I don't want to understand it, because I never want to be that sensitive about a team and people that I actually don't know in real life. But let me get to the other side of this video. The main important thing for this Utah game is going to be, I think, for Colorado to stay patient. I think if Colorado is able to stay patient, keep their heads in the game, and stay focused, I think this game is going to be fine. The thing that historically that Utah has been able to do is their opponents have only been able to score 16 and a half points. Every single game that they have played, they have controlled the tempo of the game, and the game has been a little bit slower. Even the games that they have lost, they have controlled the tempo of the game based on the style of football they play. So they're big in the trenches, which is going to be what it's going to be, but their defense has played really well. I think the interesting thing about this game is going to be, how can Colorado's offense compete against Utah's defense, because that is the strength of this team. Utah's defense is the strength of this team. And so I'm very curious to see how these things start to play out. So as we're watching this and as the game unfolds or whatever, just remember, if Colorado isn't scoring, if the game is 0-0 or whatever, it is because Utah does have a good defense. So I just wanted to call that out here before I get into the things that I'm going to be watching for this week. The good thing for me, I feel like, is Colorado is hosting Utah. I think that that's cool. Anytime you can get a home game against a team that is good at defense, it's great, because historically, I've said this before, defenses usually don't travel as great as they do when they're at home. So my hope is that Colorado has the advantage because they're at home. Do I think that Utah is a good football team? I don't really know. I think that they're okay. Do I think Colorado can beat Utah? Absolutely. But I think Utah is one of those teams where they're not great, they're not bad, they're just pretty steady. Their offense can't do much of anything. And so I'm going to be curious to see how this Colorado defense plays against this Utah offense and what happens. So before I get into all of this, let me just talk about the three things I'm going to be looking for this game. Colorado has to contend with a top 25 defense. Statistically, they're really great at defense. That is their bread and butter. Their defense plays really well. Now, the good thing about this is I think Colorado has the type of offense that can compete with them if they run the ball. But I don't think they're going to run the ball. They're probably going to pass a lot. I even think Colorado still has an advantage there if this offensive line is able to hold. And so the first thing I'm going to be paying attention to is, what does this Utah defense look like up against this Colorado offense? I think that's going to kind of be the heavyweight fight here. How great is this Utah defense against this Colorado offense? So that's the first thing I'm going to be looking for. Second thing I'm going to be looking for, should come as no surprise to you, is the battle of the trenches. I need Shedeur to be protected. I need Shedeur to be protected by the offensive line. I need Shedeur to be protected by the play calling, and I need Shedeur to protect himself. I don't need him to start running backwards and spinning around and doing all these things. I need them to play sound football, because the battle of the trenches in this game, in my opinion, will probably be the toughest battle Colorado has left on the schedule. I think trenches-wise, Utah is able to compete. They have a solid offensive line and they have a solid defensive line, really front seven. So I'm really interested to see this Colorado's offensive line against Utah's defensive line. So the first thing is going to be, what does this Colorado offense as a whole look like against this Utah defense? And the second thing is going to be, like I've said every week at this point, can we protect Shedeur? Can Shedeur protect Shedeur? Can the offensive line protect Shedeur? And can these coaches make play calls that can protect Shedeur? What's been happening over the last few weeks, a lot of quarterbacks haven't been able to get to Shedeur. I think the last time a team was able to get to Shedeur was Kansas State, and we all know what happened in that game. I also think the game before that, the other team that was able to get to Shedeur was Baylor, and we all know what happened in that game. And I'm not even going to go back to North Dakota State, but all I'm saying is it's been a few weeks now to where Colorado's offensive line has held up and everything has looked good. So I just need that to continue as we work to move forward. The other thing I'm going to look forward to, and this is going to be my third thing, is can Colorado create turnovers on this Utah offense? The truth is, this Utah offense will give up the ball. This Utah offense will fumble. They will throw interceptions. They will do all the things. The quarterback that's playing right now is streaky. If he gets hot, he will get hot and he will look phenomenal. But if he has trouble getting rid of the ball, if their offensive line doesn't protect them, if CU is able to create pressure and make this quarterback think twice and panic a little bit, I like CU's chances in this. So I really am wanting to see, the third thing is going to be, can Colorado create turnovers from this Utah offense? I think that they can, and so I'm very curious to see. The other thing I'm a little bit worried about, and I don't really know where to put it because I'm actually not sure how I feel, is I still don't know if Colorado is going to be able to stop the run consistently in all game. And so I think getting turnovers is going to help them, because the thing that Utah does is they have these long, methodical drives. And when you have these long drives and you're moving down the field and you're holding on to the ball a long time, it causes defenses to panic. It also causes offenses to panic because they're running a balanced offense. And so I hope that Colorado is able to create turnovers or get a couple of extra possessions some way, shape, or form in order to win this game. The last thing I'm going to say, and it's going to be a little bit weird, but I'm going to say it, is Colorado special teams has to step up. Colorado's punt coverage and kickoff coverage has to step up this game. This is the one thing I'm kind of concerned about, that I actually don't want to say it because I don't want to speak it into existence, but Colorado's kickoff team has to be better, because this is actually the thing that concerns me heading into playing Kansas, is can this special teams make tackles? Can they prevent people from being able to run back punts and kickoffs? So just another thing, I didn't want to add it to my list, but it is something I'm thinking about. So as we move forward, I'm very curious to see the battle of the trenches. I want to see CU's offensive line against Utah's defensive line and vice versa. I'm very curious to see what that looks like. Obviously, protecting Shedeur through play calling, protecting Shedeur protecting himself, and also I want to see this offensive line protect Shedeur. And then the other thing I'm going to be looking at is, can Colorado create turnovers, or what are they going to do if Utah starts sustaining these long drives? And then I'll just do my 3A is going to be these kickoffs and special teams. I'm not even going to talk about Colorado being disciplined and all those things. That's a given. They should do those things. If they don't do those things, there's nothing else I can say at this point. But these are the things I'm looking for in this game. As I'm sitting here, we all know what I've been on, okay? I'm going to keep that same energy. What I've been on lately is picking the other team to beat Colorado, and Colorado hasn't lost, I think, in 3 or 4 games since I started picking the other team. So I'm going to continue to pick the other team. And so I hope Utah wins this game. I think Utah is going to win this game. I think they're going to come into Colorado and win this game. And so I'm picking Utah to win. So I really hope we know what's going to happen. I'm not going to say it because it's words worked so far, so I'm just going to go with Utah, and I'm going to keep it moving, and I'm going to buy my business. So this is what I think about this game this week. I'm actually excited to see Colorado play this game because I'm excited to see them play another game where there's really good trenches like there was against Kansas State. And so I'm super excited to see how Utah's trenches match up with Colorado, to see if we've gotten better from when we played Kansas State and really how this pairs and how this matches. So this is what I'm thinking. These are my opinions. These are my opinions. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you agree with me, disagree with me, if you think I'm looking at this all wrong, or if you have other thoughts about this game. But I'm super excited to see what happens. So as I always say, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Obviously, leave your comment if you want to. Turn those notifications on so that you know whenever I drop content. And as I end this video, if you are somebody that's watching that is always in your feelings when you watch my videos, leave those feelings. This isn't about feelings. I make videos about feelings. This isn't one of them. This is about football. This is only about football. Nothing more, nothing less. Take your feelings somewhere else, okay? Feelings don't live here. We are here to talk about football. We'll talk about feelings at the end of the season. Right now, we're talking about football. So you are here to hear my football take. I'm giving you my football take, so get rid of those feelings.